Close your eyes and imagine that you are the only person in the world, and the whole planet is your playground.
There is no one, neither a friend nor an enemy, nor any unliked neighbors, nor any worries about working to earn money.
Everything belongs to you, all the countries, all the palaces, whatever you want is at your fingertips.
How would it be like?
One morning, the alarm goes off and you wake up. No one seems to be home, so you start having breakfast, but there is an eerie silence.
You don't hear any car noises outside or the sounds of children playing on the street. When you finish your breakfast and want to check your social media accounts, you come across something even stranger. No one has made a post today, and that too, absolutely no one.
This surprises you a lot.
It's time to go out and see what happened, but the streets are deserted except for cats and dogs, and now you realize that you are the last person on Earth.
Of course, it wasn't easy to overcome this shock, but what could have happened?
Did a virus bring about the end of all humanity, or did everyone agree to play a joke on you? As you ponder these thoughts, the first day alone in the world has already passed.
On the second day, you actually realize that it's not so bad after all. Imagine being able to immediately start driving a luxurious car you see, without the need to pay any money. When you see a beautiful Mercedes, all you have to do is find out which house the key is in. After entering and getting the key, you can use it until the gasoline runs out and then leave it, and your clothes will start getting dirty. But this is not a problem at all.
Just enter any shopping store and take whatever you like. There are enough clothes to last you a lifetime, and you can be as extravagant as you want. But what if you start feeling a little hungry? Then just go into the first superstore you see and eat whatever you want. All the chocolates and foods are now yours. But be careful, the electricity might go out while you're inside, and you don't want to get stuck anywhere.
Since there is no one to regulate the electric currents and fix the faults in the lines in a world without people, the whole world will be plunged into darkness within a few days. You'd better collect all the candles and flashlights you can find, because the dark nights will be longer than before, and maybe, for the first time in this darkness, you'll feel what loneliness is.
Since packaged foods will begin to spoil soon, it would be a good idea to learn how to hunt.
Fishing is a good option, but be careful, the wolves, wild boars, and bears around your city are now wandering the same streets as you. Although they may hesitate for a few months, they will all start flocking to the city centers since they no longer hear human voices. Therefore, break the window of a gun store and take a few with you.
We don't want to be food for animals. There are 3 things that are important to survive alone in the world: the need for water, food, and shelter. Shelter is the easiest one, and the most beautiful mansions and palaces are at your service. Just enter one you like and have fun. No one will ask you what you're doing. If you get bored of the city you're in, you can go wherever you want because everything is yours. Maybe there are vacation spots you've always wanted to see but never had the chance to go to. Just get into any car and hit the road, but don't forget that you are both the boss and the worker wherever you go.
There is no one to serve you. By the way, you are the only one in the world, so you can go to places where entry is prohibited and take the bombs from the warplanes in the secret bases of the armies. Maybe when you get bored of loneliness, you'll want to add excitement to your life by bombing and destroying buildings you don't like. Have you heard that sound for a moment? What kind of roar could it be in the middle of the city?
According to research, animals in a natural wildlife park and zoo in an unmanned world will find a way to survive there due to hunger.
So, lions, elephants, and even crocodiles will be roaming the streets with you within a few months. You should always be careful. However, since there are many animals wandering around everywhere because there are no humans, hunters will not experience food shortages. Therefore, you are not one of the first on the hunting list. You can relax for a while longer.
Have you noticed that you have more energy now and feel healthier than before? The factories and cars that constantly pollute the atmosphere and environment no longer exist, so your body works much better, and no one can infect you with a disease.
Even a small cut can quickly lead to bad results if you do not have first aid knowledge. Therefore, do not separate yourself from the first aid kit. Actually, surviving in such a world is the easiest thing, but maintaining mental health is the hardest thing. because humans have a consciousness focused on living in groups and constantly communicating. Not communicating with anyone for days, weeks, or months can make you start talking to yourself without realizing it.
It has been observed that people who spend a long time in single cells in prisons start talking to the human pictures they draw on the walls after a while. It is known that these people even name the pictures they draw on the wall and sometimes even argue with them. Because humans are social beings.
Even the most introverted individual will feel the need to speak at some point. There are also people who live alone on islands or in forests today. They try to socialize and satisfy their friend needs by having a dog. Maybe you can get a dog too if you are alone in this world. It will be both a protective and friendly companion for you at home. Since there is no electricity and you cannot use the internet in this life, you may want to travel the world to see if there is anyone else alive.
Cars can do the job, but it will take a lot of time. If you know how to use it, you can also use a boat or any plane you want. With a fast and high-quality boat, you can travel around all the coastal cities in the world in a few years and look for traces of humanity. Or, if you have pilot training, you can travel the world more quickly with a small plane.
However, do not forget that one of the most important factors in surviving alone, according to experts, is to maintain psychology and take care of personal hygiene while doing so. The fact that no one is alive should not prevent you from showing care for your body. Because a well-groomed appearance will give you positive energy, life enthusiasm, and self-confidence wherever you are. Do not enter cities where such dangerous places as nuclear power plants are located because they can start exploding within 10 years, and each of these explosions can have a Chernobyl effect. Maintaining a well-groomed appearance will give you positive energy, a desire to live, and self-confidence no matter where you are. If you neglect self-care and turn into a wild man or woman with a beard, you may end up living like an animal in a world without people. Eating raw meat like wolves and hunting like them would not be pleasant.
During World War II, it was observed that some prisoners who escaped from the vast steppes of Russia's prisons lived like wolves in the forests after years. At the same time, after spending a long time in the world, it would be best not to trust high-rise buildings.
Multi-story buildings are always at risk of collapse due to neglect, so low houses can protect you from potential danger. However, if there is no one to check the river gates, the house you choose may be at risk of floods in rivers, so it is better to be on a small hill rather than a flat plain to avoid waking up in floodwaters one morning.
Above all, you should always remember who you are and where you came from. If possible, visit the city where you spent your life and the streets where your memories are. Because in a life without technology or electricity and without communicating with anyone, your mind can play tricks on you, and you can forget your past.
Research has shown that people who have not spent more than 10 years on a deserted island or in a forest have forgotten their past and their own lives. Focus on surviving and living every moment of the day, because memories tend to fade away over time if there are no photographs or anyone to remind us. Return to the city where you grew up frequently.
If you cannot do that, carry your memories with you. They will remind you that you are a human being in the wild.
In the end, there are only two options left. Either you can find someone of the opposite sex while traveling the world and become the new Adam and Eve of humanity.
Or you can wait alone in your shelter without finding anyone to show your photos and tell your stories about the places you visited on this planet.
Thank you for watching, and you may consider subscribing. Stay healthy.